We're doing 6A, and right here I have circles, circles that have been trimmed, arcs, somewhat of a horizontal layout. Some of these are concentric with others. And then this right here, 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 and here. Okay, I could see that as a rectangle. Nothing wrong with that. Nothing wrong with that at all, especially knowing that this is 150 wide. Now you'll have to do the math, not that big of a deal. Radius of 44 being doubled. So again, however it is that you see that and you want to start, good. I'm going to start with, similar to the last one on number 5, I'm going to start with the center lines just to kind of get the layout of where these exist there. So I'll go ahead and do the horizontal line. I know that that is, let's see, small circles or arcs 44, so there's 88. I'm going to round that up to 100. I do that since center lines always project past, they always extend beyond the actual object that they're identifying. So I've got 88, and then I've got 64, 120, 150, so I'm going to say 250. And honestly, that's just a real quick, I might be off, it might be too big, too small, doesn't matter. In this case, then I will draw a vertical, and that one I know 64, I'll say 150, since the diameter of what was a circle is right at 128. And in this case, I am going to move this. Now, here might be one, it's hard to see. Right there is a midpoint popping up. There, if you can see on the screen, is the perpendicular. So this is a good example of where sometimes get it away, get it off there, because trying to work so much, especially trying to work all this so small, zoom in. Sometimes get away from any of the object snaps that might be popping up just to make sure they don't. Again, you can shift right click to be very specific. In this case, I'm just grabbing grips to quickly manipulate or move things around. Here I'm going to do, now this one, the math is quite easy as well. So the 150 from, even though I'm doing a circle here, what I'm actually doing is identifying the locations of the other two vertical center lines. I use circles to draw or to identify, to locate straight lines all the time. All the time. One, because C right click is so quick and easy. It also, here, such as my dash line, you see the circle, what that is basically all the possible endpoints that a line can be if I know its length. Well, in this case, I'm going to type D for diameter, and I see that I'm given 150 on the problem. And now, basically, I can just copy from here to here and erase, and I very quickly have these two lines. I could have easily drawn them separately. I could have used copy. I could have used offset. So all of those are definitely options. Now, right before I get to drawing the first circle, and it's okay whether I do or not, and then I'll go ahead and do it. 64 is the radius. I realize per the last drawing, what I failed to do was change the colors of these center lines. So I'll just do that now. Select those, red, escape. Now it's back to bilayer, so this is what I'm now creating or drawing in. Back to my drawing, I have a diameter of 54 here in the middle. And I'm only going to do one side here and then mirror it. I know it is symmetrical, so diameter 24, and that is the 2x diameter 24, two locations. And then I also have this radius of 44. Now what am I going to do with that radius, or with this one here? I can go ahead and trim them. I can trim them now and then mess with something else and trim them again. Or, looking at the problem, I see that this line up here that connects here to here is a tangent line. I know that it touches this circle at one point only. It is also clear, it should be somewhat obvious, and even if it's not, we are going to decide that it is, that those lines are horizontal. So I'm going to go ahead and do that, and I know for certain, if I know that this line is horizontal, I absolutely know its tangent point is at that quadrant. Why? Because part of the definition, or one of the definitions of tangent, is that a line that is drawn tangent to a curve or a circle, this line is perpendicular to the radius drawn to the point of tangency. Well, that line right there I know is absolutely vertical. The only line that is perpendicular to a vertical line is a horizontal line. And the only place this takes place is at top or bottom quadrant. So there, my selection cycling says that one, erase. And I'll go ahead and just draw, mirror, or copy this one as well. Now I'm going to trim this, TR. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to select this line and this line as my trimming objects. Right click, and now the entire arc. Otherwise, I'd have to go trim, 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 vice versa, or so on and so forth there. And a side note, I apologize. I know I am constantly saying so on and so forth. It's just one of my little tics. So I am trying. I honestly am trying to refrain from doing that. Now, right click. I could have selected this circle also, but I failed to. I intentionally didn't. Whichever it may be, I'll click it there and click and click. I also could have done, let's see if this will work. Could I do a fillet with, I'm currently set at 0 radius. That's good. And in this case, it would work. I held on a little too long. If I haven't gone over that with you, we got rid of your menu, your right-click menu popping up. But if you remember, we checked the time sensitive. So if I right-click, I'm back in trim. But if I right-click and hold just a quarter of a second, 250 milliseconds, I have the menu that you guys have been dealing with all along. So rarely ever do I use this, but I still have it available. It's nice to know that I still have it available. So now I am going to mirror this from quadrant to quadrant, and then I will trim from here to here, and I am done. Quick assessment. Yes, I am done. Nice short video.